The quest for immortality has been one that many people over the course of history have attempted, but no one has succeeded in achieving. Biologically, our bodies age and eventually they shut down completely. It's a natural part of living that can't be stopped. But there is one man who may just have proven that immortality does exist. Dashi-Dorzho Itigelov, a spiritual leader of Buddhists in Russia, died many decades ago. However, he had a very unusual request before he passed. He wanted his body to be exhumed 50 years after he was buried. But when fellow Buddhist leaders finally opened the cedar box he'd been buried in for over 5 decades, they were in shock at what they saw. Immortality is something that a lot of people dream about. It's a myth, of course. Our bodies naturally age and death is something that cannot be stopped. But what if you found out that the myth could be proven wrong? Dashi-Dorzho Itigelov was a Buddhist spiritual leader from Russia who may have actually proved it possible. Dashi-Dorzho Itigelov was no ordinary teacher. It was said that he had an incredible aura of peace and love surrounding him that was felt by every student he mentored. As he got older, he made very strict preparations for his death. He instructed students to bury him in a cedar box, and after 50 years, he wanted his remains exhumed. His intention was to prove to his pupils that immortality was no myth. On June 15, 1927, an aging Dashi-Dorzho gave an emotional farewell to his students. He retreated to his room in the temple where he lived, sat down in the lotus position, and closed his eyes. He passed away peacefully several days later, and his students placed his body in a cedar box as per his exact instructions. Unfortunately, there was a ban on religion at the time his body was to be exhumed. Dashi-Dorzho's pupils had to wait another 25 years before they could reopen his crate. Finally, in 2002, 75 years after Dashi-Dorzho was buried, several Russian Buddhist leaders decided to exhume his body. They all stood around and eagerly watched as the lid was removed. When they looked inside, they gasped. Everyone who was present during the exhumation was in awe at what they saw. Dashi-Dorzho was sitting in the same lotus position he passed away in 75 years earlier. His body showed hardly any signs of decomposition, even though no special measures for preserving the Buddhist Lama had been taken. Those who were present said that not even the smell of death hung in the air. A deceased body usually has a horrid stench due to the chemical breakdown of the body's organs. This was a scientific anomaly, and everyone was left wondering how it could be possible. Dashi-Dorzho's face was also intact. Even when they removed the backing to the cedar crate, his body remained upright as if he was still very much alive. His skin was soft and elastic, and his joints could easily be adjusted. There were a handful of forensic analysts at the site, and they were all left speechless. Dashi-Dorzho's body was immediately placed in a sealed glass case and brought to the Itigilov Buddhist temple. 15 years later, his appearance, amazingly, still remains in pristine condition, even though no further measures were taken to prevent decomposition. Over the years, forensic experts have taken samples from his skin, hair, and fingernails, and they've been confirmed that the body's cells continue to divide. Dashi-Dorzho has also put on weight and maintains a body temperature between 65 and 93 degrees Fahrenheit. No scientist has been able to explain any of this phenomenon. The temple where Dashi-Dorzho's body is kept has since become a famous pilgrimage site. Thousands of Buddhists visit every year. It's also rumored that Dashi-Dorzho has opened his eyes on several occasions. In 2016, recordings from a temple security camera allegedly captured Dashi-Dorzho moving swiftly through the rooms at night. The story of Dashi-Dorzho is a mystery that has perplexed forensic specialists and Buddhist leaders around the world. He may have physically died long ago, but everything about his body indicates that he's very much alive. Is this proof that immortality exists beyond the physical realm? Experts may never find an answer as to why Dashi-Dorzho remained intact for so long. Some mysteries just aren't meant to be solved, and that makes them all the more intriguing. Share this incredible story of immortality with your friends.